Hi again everyone, Scott Pyre, Pop Cult fan here, and in this video, something that I thought about, that I want to do a video for actually is, now that I've seen The Flash, um, there's this whole thing, like, the multiverse, in all these various different movies, not just in DC, but in Marvel too as well. You know, there's a lot of, that can be explained in regards to how the multiverse works within DC, because it is different compared to Marvel. And I think the Arrowverse TV shows explain it a lot better, if you ask me. And what they do in the movie, I think, sort of lines up with the Arrowverse shows a little bit, but also, you know, does its own thing, because, you know, it's its own thing. But okay, I kind of want, I want to sort of try and explain it myself, but, you know, how there's, in DC, in the Arrowverse especially, you know, there's different realities, right? You know, there's different versions of Earth in space. Like, they visualize it in a way that it's like different Earths in space in a way. And you have like the Arrowverse Earth, which was like Earth Prime, and then like another Earth would be like Earth 89, which is where Michael Keaton's Batman is from. And then, you know, what they do in the movie, sort of like, when Barry goes back in time, you know, he changes not just the future, but the past too as well, and the present. You know, everything changes. And there's like this whole analogy with a bowl of spaghetti in the movie where, you know, you mess with time, you basically destroy the fabric of reality, in a sense where everything changes: the past, the present, the future, and then it all just sort of starts to diverge into different timelines that become different realities, and potentially different worlds, which is how, you know, you get multiple different versions of Earth, which is what they explain in the Arrowverse shows. And it's, you know, that's how the multiverse starts. You mess with time once, just once, and then everything starts to diverge and everything changes. But there's also these points in these various universes that can be parallel, and parallel moments, like, what was the phrase? It was like something that's meant to happen, like, say, Bruce Wayne's parents, that end up getting killed. That's always a certain point in various different realities that is similar and parallel, and that's something they explained in the movie, which I think is rather fascinating. You know, you see that countless times. They've done it so many times in various different movies and shows, and yeah, I mean, I think it's also the fact that, what was the phrase? It was inevitable. It was an inevitable point in time where, in the third act of the movie, it was sort of inevitable that the reality that the Barry we're following is in, it's like meant to die because of what General Zod was doing, terraforming the Earth and killing Supergirl. And so, yeah, spoilers here. This is a spoilery video. I will, you know, show you guys, or warn you guys that this will be a spoilery video for the Flash movie if you haven't seen it already. But yes, General Zod kills Supergirl, and also Michael Keaton's version of Batman dies a couple times, and then that reality supposedly ends, and there's nothing Barry can do to fix that. And then there's this whole thing where in the third act, the other version of Barry, you know, the one that's kind of annoying, he just won't listen to the Barry that we're following. He won't listen to the other Barry, and he keeps going back to try and fix it. But it won't work. He can't fix it, and that's where the whole twist happens when we see an evil speedster that is essentially the annoying Barry Allen in the from of like a future version of that Barry, and he was sort of like the not I guess sort of the main Flash villain of the movie in a way, as well as General Zod, but he's the villain of the reality that Barry is in. So it's interesting, and I liked the third act, but like I was saying in my review with my friend Sean, it can be a little bit like, there's a lot going on, too much going on, but it's easy to understand. I understand it. So yeah, I think, yeah, like you mess with time once, the very fabric of reality just sort of collapses and creates what they sort of explain in the Marvel movies about how realities can, collide, and incursions. That's what they're called, incursions. Reality is sort of colliding and creating incursions, and just reality folding in and on itself, and that's something that I thought was pretty well visualized in the Flash, but also like a lot of the CGI not being very good, looking not real and very cartoony in that way. But I still think that the movie is solid. Like, the Flash is a solid film. And there's no denying that. But just wanted to do a video sort of explaining the multiverse a little bit in the world of DC, and how the Flash movie does its best to attempt visualizing that in the third act. And there are some fun cameos in that third act, especially various different Supermen. Like, there was Nicolas Cage appeared as Superman, which was like, there's this whole thing where back in the day, before, when Tim Burton was going to make a Superman movie, they would have cast Nicolas Cage. And also, that was kind of fun. And then also, there was George Reeves in the original Superman 50s show. There was Christopher Reeve from the original 78 film and the sequels. Adam West's version of Batman. And, it's just a lot of fun cameos. And also there was Teddy Sears as a version of Jay Garrick from the Flash TV show. That was a nice little cameo, which, speaking of, I would have liked to have seen Grant Gustin make a cameo in this movie, but that's okay. It would have been nice, though. It would have been nice to see Grant Gustin's version of the Flash in this movie, because if you watch the Arrowverse shows, the Crisis on Infinite Earth, there was a cameo of Ezra Miller in that, having a scene with Grant Gustin, which is why a lot of people would have liked to have seen that sort of play out again in this movie, but that didn't happen, which I'm assuming there were a lot of cut cameos that didn't make the cut in this final film, which is, it's all right, though. They still showed a lot of fun cameos, and it was still satisfying, even though a lot of the CG wasn't great. But nonetheless, I thought this was a solid film, but still has its problems, which is why my grade for it is still a B+. But yes, that is my spoiler-filled review of The Flash. Oh, and also, near the beginning of the movie, when the quite literal baby shower scene was happening, it was funny. It was a funny scene, but the babies did not look real. The babies did not look real. The CG in that scene was not that great either, but nonetheless, still enjoyable and still decent. It's really unfortunate that the movie's not doing very well at the box office. It doesn't deserve not doing well at the box office, especially with Michael Keaton in the movie, which it's unfortunate. And I'm assuming that they're not going to make a sequel either because of the box office performance. But alas, I thought it was a good film. My friend Sean thought it was good. My sister thought it was a really good film. It's a decent film. It's just not doing well at the box office because of other things going on surrounding the film. So those are all my thoughts on my spoiler-filled video of The Flash. So yeah, that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.